You are exactly two things. Number one, you are a chocolate muffin. Number two, you are a nice hot chocolate placed right next to the chocolate muffin. You know, we're going to look at the Bitcoin chart and its diminishing returns. I made this quite some time ago. I made this over a year ago. I made this in 2022, deep in the bear market. You can actually see from the screenshot here, Bitcoin was around 21,100. And it was me going on a process of discovery when I was discovering we're all screwed because we were all licking our wounds from the Bitcoin bull market when we realized, wait a minute, I thought we were meant to go up. We had infinite money printing. We had so much money supply put out there. The stock market usually goes up when they hike rates, but all of it just went down to the ground. And there are a lot of nasty people out there who wished for this pain, but you know, karma's going to get their way. They're going to get what's coming to them, friends. So here I am going on this process of self-discovery and also realizing that we've all been conned. Our expectations were not met. This is Bitcoin and its trajectory over time. Now, it started off down here. This is a 400x, but the numbers were just rough, okay? They're actually bigger than what you think. This is really a 600 if you do the absolute bottom. So it goes 600x, 100x, 20x, and I realize, I go, oh, crap, we are actually going down and down over time. And I'm thinking, how did we have infinite QE, 0% rates, 16 trillion on negative yielding bonds, and we still didn't even hit 100K? And I realized, uh-oh, that means somebody was scamming us up the top. Somebody was scamming us. How do you increase the money supply by 39% in 1 year and you pump the stock market but crypto stays down? There was something doing it in the background. And of course I had to do it, friends. If I was the government and they put a water pistol to my head and they said, all right, we'll tell you where the alien tech is. We'll let you play around with our machines, but you got to defend the sanctity of the US dollar. And I'll say, oh, well, I know exactly what to do. Okay, we've got to make the stocks go up. We've got to stop crypto from rallying. We've got to get Gary Gensler, the guzzler himself, the semen demon, to attack crypto on the way down to make people panic. And then you would hope that with the diminishing gains, they would give up on the idea of crypto and Bitcoin, and they would lose so much money that they would beg the government and allow them for regulation. That's exactly what's been going on. Not even a guess. Isn't that exactly what played out? Well, guess what, friends? I was talking about this in the depths of the bear market of 2022. Now it's exactly what's happened and exactly what we've seen. So if you buy Bitcoin around its 200-week moving average, it's a very, very long week. So just to give you an idea, friends, just to let you know, if you go to, say, weekly chart, you add a moving average, put a 200 weekly moving average. If you are in a crypto that doesn't even have the 200-week moving average printed yet, because it hasn't been around for 4 years, you are in either a super moonshot or you're going to lose everything. Just to let you know, because it's unproven. I know we always want new stuff, but with that territory, you know, there comes risk. With the new stuff means there's no established average move. And now I have the Chainlink chart. So remember, when you want to look at a chart, you got to look at its full history. You want to know exactly where it is. So you just type in Link USD. You will go to this one. You see the total crypto. See this crypto index, spot crypto. This is really good. It'll give you the full historical data. You add a moving average, a simple moving average, and make sure you will change it for that length. We like it long, friends. 200 units long. That's exactly what we want. And as you can see, it starts here. It actually started in July. So if I knew this, friends, earlier, I would tell you this, okay? But I'm just here to share with you. Now you've learned. If you are in something that doesn't even have a 200-week moving average yet, just know that, you know, it can go one of two ways. It's either like all over or you're going to make it. So it eventually started printing it here. Where is that 200-week moving average now for Chainlink is $12.90. That's just to show you how ridiculously cheap it is, under $12.90. But it's just to give you an idea of how long you need to be in something and have it survive for bigger, more established money starts to take notice of it. You know, there are people out there, boomers, TradFi people, they just want to see the 200-week moving average. They just want to see, okay, it's been around for 4 years, and there's a 4-year average price. What's the 4-year average price? That's like one presidential term. It's what we think about and what we look at. So that's why when we go back to, say, Bitcoin started it, you know, quite some time ago, and then you have it here, and, you know, buying on its 200-week moving average has turned out pretty good. But the numbers it's turning out are getting less and less over time. We've got to think, what's going to break the parabola? If infinite QE didn't break it, what's actually going to break it? It might just have to be governments printing currency and just start buying it, FOMO buying it. But that's a dream. That's the hopium. That's the copium. So that's why, you got a 600x here. Then you got the 100x. Then you got the 20x. Now we might get a 5x. That's why this range is going to be 88,000 to 110,000. We're just going to be ready for it. Okay, we're just ready. So I made this price target before the bear market had really played out. So I'm still open to the thought of 100K. Back then 100K was like, oh yeah, sweet. 100K was really, really low because we were still thinking about the 200 to 400K prices from 2021. But now it's eventually seeped in. The average market participant is positioned for about 100,000. So now we know where the crowd stands. And here we have Mr. Catahone. Mr. Catahone with the banana and monkey saying, and now we even have paper Bitcoins. I liked to have paper gold from Peter Schiff, good man. So yes, of course, the paper Bitcoin, which is the futures ETF, got launched at the top. And now we're going to have Roca Negra. More of the paper Bitcoin is trading around. And unfortunately, that means it allows the big institutional scum, the bug eater overlords, it allows them to get short without actually owning any Bitcoin. Here we have Mr. Publisher. So he does a bit of the wrong numbers. He's saying that the next cycle top should be 50K. Hey, it's still possible. I'm not going to call you wrong. It's still possible. But just to clarify, the first number wasn't really 400x. It was just I did a rough calculation. So it's actually 600x. So that's why it can stop 70K, it can stop 100. Hell, we can go all the way to 500K. I just want you to imagine, what type of world do we live in 500K? Do we live in a world where everybody was short and got it wrong and then got rich? No. If we get the world of 500K, it's the world where all of the retailers, the plebs, all of the rats, who the rich people call us rats, right? We're just rats running around. They don't want to mingle with us. All of the outsiders, we all make it. We all kill it. See, that's a world I want to believe in, but I don't know the likelihood of that. And here we have Mr. Satoshi Sakamoto, a Bitcoin maxi, who is a friend of the channel, but also an intergalactic coper, saying, I am showing my misunderstanding of how Bitcoin works. Everything priced in Bitcoin gets cheaper, regardless of how many X's it does. Read a book. This is where, unfortunately, Mr. Sakamoto gets absolutely destroyed live on Twitter, Rooney. Here I am telling you, okay, if Bitcoin goes up, why does it go down against Ethereum? Dead. Okay, this looks like a dead. If this was a chart of anything else, you would say it's dead. Be honest. Be honest. If I showed you this, I go, whoa, this is dead. I'm never buying this. You know what this chart is, right? It's Bitcoin over Ethereum. It's just the inverse of ETH BTC. So it's just funny. See, marketing, messaging, branding. We have all the power, friends. The knowledge is power. All right. So we can just show you that, you just be careful what you wish for, because it's happening to you. So Mr. Sakamoto also replied saying, oh, you're talking about from the ICO at the ratio peak. So what he's doing is, if you notice, this is common Bitcoin maxi things. What they'll do is, they'll zoom in to ETH BTC and then they'll say ETH BTC is trash. But then when they compare stocks and Bitcoin and other asset classes, what they'll do is they'll use the full 10-year of Bitcoin. But those are irrelevant. We know they're irrelevant. Why? Because you can't go back anywhere. We know the best days of Bitcoin are done. 600x, 100x, 20x. You're not getting those returns. You're not getting 100x from here. They all think they do, but we all know they're not. So what they have to do is they have to go further and further back in time to start where Bitcoin is measured from. And then we all know the returns are getting worse and worse. And yes, the volatility is dropping, but if Bitcoin only dropped 50% in that vast bear market or 40%, it'd be all right. But the fact that it went 77% and it could have easily gone minus 90%, you're like, man, what am I taking all this risk for if you're just going to drop like everything else and get crushed? The industry is getting tougher, harder, more mature, and more efficient. So to make it in this game, you need diamond hands. But, just got to reiterate this to you. I've always talked about this, friends. Diamond hands does not mean that you think the price is immune from an enormous minus 90% dump, okay? Just because you go, I'm diamond hands in this, it doesn't mean I think it's never going to go down, okay? Diamond hands means you are riding the long-term trend. Everybody says they ride the long-term trend, but they don't. Because why? What are they doing? They see the past 6 months that went up. So then in their mind, this is not me talking. sociologists, stats, all the sciences, humans can only predict about the next 6 months. On average, people think about the next 6 months. Now, that average consists of many people who think of month 1 to 3. And then there's also people like us who think about year 5 to 10 to 15. Very long term. And that gives you that average of like 6 months. 3 to 6 month period, okay? So what they're doing is because we live in linear terms and live in a linear world and how we think linearly, you know, it's easy for you to go 2 plus 2 plus 2 rather than like, you know, 9 times 9 times 9 for the average person. Now, we see the past 3 to 6 months is going good. So then their average long-term mindset is, okay, the next 6 months should be good. That's long-term. Of course, we know in crypto, in assets, in investing, you need longer than that time frame. So, you know, diamond hands does mean long-term. Long-term means 5 years plus. Hopefully, we make it in the next 2 years. You don't need to wait 5 years, but you got to align yourself mentally with that. If you align yourself mentally with that, all the pieces of the puzzle fall together. Human progress is made with every 5 years that passes. So to capture it, we stay long. That's true. The world doesn't eventually go to zero. The world eventually gets just 1% better, and then we go up. Oh, another 1% better, and then we go up, and then another 1%. That's what it is. There are hiccups along the way. The wealthiest riches are made this way with a super long-term view. So we're going to keep joining in together. We're going to remember that, okay, prices go down. Yes. Does it suck? Yes. Are there people who are cheering for your death? Yes. Are there people who are jealous? Yes. Are there people who want to see you go to zero? Yes. But guess what? Every empire, every great nation, every great economic invention, there were haters too. The haters don't win. The haters are losers, friends. That's why we understand the fundamentals. We know crypto has over 400 million people worldwide, but guess what? It still isn't a billion. When we're over 1 billion people in crypto, okay, now we can talk about real diminishing gains, even in altcoins. But until then, the way to go is up. Make sure you like, subscribe, press the belly button and all. I'm going to catch you in the next one.